Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the final video in the night heater install, or dry air heater, or Chinese copy heater, whatever you want to call it. But this has been a welcomed addition to the van. It's currently 2 degrees outside. I don't know if you can see, but it's a horrible grey day. We've got lots of wind, lots of rain, Storm Bella I think it's called. But yeah, the night heater's been brilliant. It's currently 19 degrees in here, nice comfortable temperature to work at. I've got some plastic conduit that I'm working with over there. Rather than break lots of it, I've put the heater on just to keep it nice and warm so I can manipulate it and bend it into the shape that I want. If I was to do it at 2 degrees, which is the temperature outside now, there's a good chance it would break. So let's stop waffling, I'll let you watch the rest of the video. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, consider subscribing, consider sharing, and if you've got any questions, just drop us a line. Before we can start to install the night heater, there's some stripping out to be done. Firstly, you've got to remove the front seat and then the swivel base. We fitted swivel bases, so we need to remove these before we can even start looking at installing the heater. I think I'm going to have to cut this cable again, but on the underside, so let's have a little look, see how we get on with it. Oh Jesus, who put that in? So tight. I know for sure. I'm not going to cut that, I'll just put it out the way. This is what's beneath your driver's seat on a vwcrafter, and this is where we intend to put our diesel dry air heater. So we're going to have to do a little bit of reconfiguring, I think. Basically, oh, knock the camera there. I'm going to try and get rid of this whole section. This can be mounted on here, so could this relay could be mounted elsewhere, and then that frees up this whole piece to come out. I don't think there's anything connected on it, so that would give us room to work in there. So that's what we've got to play with now. We need to keep to this side because there's a chassis leg round about there. I think you can actually hear it. So I would say where them stud welds are, I don't know if you can see them marks, there's like little pop marks. They are where your chassis leg is welded. So for us, we need to be around about this area here. I need to grind them off as well. I need to reroute this cable, but at least we've got somewhere to work at. Before I actually commit to installing something, I'll take as long as it needs to make sure I've got it in the right place. I'll do multiple checks, I'll line it up several times. You've got to be confident that it's going in the right place, because once you drill these holes, there's no going back. These mounting plates come as part of your kit. Now, I didn't end up using mine because I've put mine on a flat metal surface and didn't see the benefit of using this. However, they do come in handy as a template. I'm using a step cutter here, but in all honesty it's probably the wrong tool to do this job with. In hindsight, I should have used a hole cutter, as the step cutter keeps grabbing. It was brand new, it was sharp, but the metal was probably too thick for it. What have we done so far? Well, we've drilled the holes and we've sealed up this hole here with some PU glue, and there was a little hole there, we sealed that up. We've painted it all with a colour that I was going to paint a van in the past, some spare paint. So we've also put a grommet through there, and this is the fuel pump line, so that needs fixed in. We just split it because there's quite a large plug on the end of there. See that? Just goes through that hole. I had intended to use this grommet, but just couldn't get the plug through. We've also drilled a hole to the front and painted it. Drilled a hole to the rear and painted that. Drilled a hole through the wood panel. Done nothing with that. And we need to put another hole through there because we're actually putting a T here. So that will blow warm air into the front of the into the lounge area of the van, and the rest is piped off, which will split back there. Don't know if you can see, there's a pipe in that corner that will continue through into the garage area, and we're going to come off just above it and into the shower area around about here. And then there's ducting all the way back into the back of the garage. So, just a matter of dropping in the heater now, wherever I put it. Put it all the way over there on the floor. Let's have a little look around this heater before we stick it in. So this is a 5 kilowatt Chinese special, much bigger than the 2 kilowatts, to be honest. That's what's thrown us. Our intention was to mount this heater underneath there, so all that would come through would be the heater pipe, and we'd have a recirc vent down here. But of course we can't make any of that work, so it's going under the seat. It's all purely down to the size of the heater. So we'll get it dropped in. Of course, you got your fuel line, intake and exhaust. This is your cable connector. You can actually move this around, so if you didn't want it on this side, you could move it around to that side. So I'm going to do that now. So this is how easy it is to open the panel. Unscrew that end, roll it round onto its side, and you're in. So we would need that one out because we're going to change the cabling over onto that side. So let's just, best I haven't let the wife see me doing this on the kitchen table. She will flip her stack. I thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? Right. Possibly can't do this one-handed, so I'm going to put the phone down, swap the cable around, and show you how it looks. After you remove this Allen key, there is like some pinch clips here. Just pinch them in, and this panel drops away. So what I'm going to do is route the cable around the back side and back up out of this side. That way it keeps the cable away from any of these components. There's potential for these to get warm. We don't want the cables melting or getting damaged. So we'll route it round that way, keeps it away from everything. So we'll put it back together and show you what it looks when it's finished, how it looks when it's finished. That's it back together. Just one thing, when you're bolting it back up, this Allen key, just take care not to nip these two cables, because it is quite neat behind there. You see, you could potentially catch it. So that's the cable routed round, and it's quite rigid, that it basically, it's sat in mid-air. It's not supported anywhere around, it's just floating, because like I say, the harness has been wound very tight. So I'm happy with that. I'm just going to bolt it all back together and we'll fit it and test run it. There you go. That's the cable rerouted, and it was easy as that. 5 minutes that took. Unbelievable. Really, really quick, really happy with that. There's the information of the heater. So now, all that's left to do is fit the bugger. Let's get on with it. Found the cable round last night, which is now pointing the right way. So, what I do when I'm tightening up nuts and bolts, unless it requires being torqued to strength, I will tighten it up until I get a bit of resistance. And then I'll give it half a turn. And that way you don't end up over tightening things. There you go, a bit of resistance. Half a turn. We have a bit of sealant on the bottom of these fans. So what I'm doing at the minute is I'm just making sure that we're not just squashing the sealant, we're actually going up against the metal. And then I'll remove these bits of rubbish from around the intake and exhaust. Some little bits of additional sealant there. So I'll let it sit for a couple of minutes and then just check them again. That one there is definitely squashing the sealant down. Yeah, that's it. This one here, now it's tight. That was good. Check the last one. Yeah, we're all good on them now. Not over tightened, but tight enough to do the job. This cable dangling is for our fuel pump. This is the one we grommeted, we brought through. I'm just going to find somewhere we'll be happy to mount the fuel pump. I think what we should maybe do, drop it on my face, I think we should maybe do is, oh sorry, stretching. I think what we should maybe do at this point is run the fuel line across and get it into the position where we need it. It's too far away, so I'll go get the fuel line and we'll do that. Yep, that's sound done. I'll mount the pump up in this area, I think. Might even come off up over there. Oh. Yeah. So, this is the pump arrangement. So, fuel comes along here, through. Keep this to the front. This is for your connection. But that is the line the pump works. That's the fuel direction. So this needs to be secured at an angle of 15 to 30 degrees. So it's 45, 30 there. Anywhere between 15 and 30 degrees. So we can just have that there. We need a piece of pipe for there, which I forgot to cut. Right, I'll get a bit of that. Two fixings on there, fuel filter back here. Sorry, I'll show you. So we've got the pump, fuel filter, fuel line. Cable tie on there, cable tie on there, fuel lights here. Somewhere now, somewhere close. What we need to look at is where we're going to mount this bad boy. I think this side's favourite. Just roll that round and find somewhere where we want it. Bear in mind it needs to be accessible because usually when these fuel pumps break, it'll be when you least expect it. It'll be at the most inconvenient time. So here as well. Put them where you're prepared, where you've got an option of working on them. So this is quick and easily accessible. The idea of putting this piece of fuel liner is here. If you think you're having a fuel issue, you can just come and quickly inspect it. While it's running, you can see if there's any bubbles coming up. If there's bubbles, there's obviously you draw an air on your fuel line somewhere, so then you go along and check all your connections, make sure you haven't caught it on a stone or any connections has come loose, or it's just a poor fitting. I think that's where we're going to go. darkest hour when everything's broken and nothing works. You're not fighting on. Look, trying to unscrew these in the dark. You can see them square up. So, Donnie, Dexter, come on, come and see us. What's up? Come here, son. Come here. Hey, Dex. Dex. Right, that's that fitted. Oh, I'll be glad when I'm out from under this van. Dexter, I'm a little bit busy, son, huh? I think what we'll do is we'll spin that around, put the nut on top, and the head underneath. That's good. What is it, son? Bring it. So you can hear the pump ticking away there. Got a little bit of pressure coming out the exhaust. So we're just priming up the system. We've connected all the controls together, and before I go any further, I just want to make sure that it's working. In the background you can hear the fan running and the pump priming up. Priming pump's getting a little bit quicker. Don't know if that means anything, but we'll see what happens next. Now the pump's back on. Priming. Oh yeah, a little bit of warm air now. Oh, out of 10. Right. Let's go and see what out of 10 is. Oh, we were nearly there. We were nearly there. go and have a look what error 10 was. There was no F10 fault code in the book, so I'm just going to try it one more time and we'll see how it behaves. Starting again. Come on. Oh, it sounds like we're in business. Bit of smoke coming there. Oh yeah. I expect a bit of smoke at the beginning. There's all loose components, so oh my god, I've done it again. What's E10? What the hell's E10? So we can smell diesel. We've got diesel in the lines. We had a little bit of smoke before. So hopefully this time we should see it fire up. Getting heat. We are getting heat. I can feel heat there. We're getting exhaust. We've got a second bar. So I've had to manually prime it a couple of times. All I can think is we had some bubbles in the diesel line, but to give us that error 10. Oh, now we've got an ambient orange. Ooh. We're getting somewhere now, peeps. That is hot. We got warm exhaust there. I think we're nearly up to speed, people. For the second orange. Come on. What's next? Oh, that's working. It's in my hand. I've got heat at my hands. Do we get 2 reds? Is that it? Yes, we've got 2 reds, people. Oh, that's bloody hot. Nice. I can't put, I'll be honest with you, it's as close as I can put my hand in, it's hot there. Oh, happy days. That is as hot as exhaust. Well. Good, thank you. Well, Chinese heat, they ran up to speed. Cool. What do that? Let's try and get something to put that back together now. I'll leave this running for a few minutes. So, she's running. Put everything back in now. Got the energy management system there. Fuse rail, relay rail. These 2 were off the other relay rail that's sat here. And this one here, I need to find a home for it. That's the next job. Seal the grommet down at the bottom there. I don't know if you can really see that. That's all been sealed up. Flexi hose on. I'm just putting it through its paces, to be honest. Run it up to temperature. Oh, that's lovely and hot. I'll show you the dial now. There you go. 2 red, 2 orange, 2 green. I think everything's working as it should be. Really happy with this now. Scroll through. Set it to 22 degrees. 21. Voltage. When it gets up to speed, up to temperature, sorry, it reduces its speed, which is a good thing. You wouldn't want it running flat out all the time. Yeah, the body doesn't get warm. It's really good. I have to touch all the parts. So the next job, got to route that cable for the controller. So time to get on and get that routed, I think. I've installed a night heater switch. Basically, in the summer months when we're not using it, it's going to be off. This is the fuse. I've velcroed that down, and again, that's accessible now. So we can stick this cover back on and have done with that. Right, what have we done inside here? So when we first opened up this area, it was quite congested. There was a lot of stuff in here that really didn't, well, obviously VW thought it should be in there, but when I looked at it, these 2 relays were mounted on one part of the plastic, so I've moved them onto here, and this relay, so there was nowhere to mount that, so we just stuck a sticky pad on, cable tied it in. Right, you can see all this black stuff, sound deadening. Because the motor's now in the van, one of the reasons I didn't want it in the van was because of the noise. Quite a light sleeper. So I've done the best I can, sound deadening everywhere that I could possibly get sound deadening in on. I've even put it around the seat base. Because I put a swivel seat base in, it's quite a snug fit. So I've put enough on there so it should compress and keep any noise in under the seat. We will get stuff, we'll get fan noise through the ducting and through the air intake at the front there, but it's one of them. You are going to get some noise, and hopefully we'll be able to live with that. Right, time to put the seat back together. So we're going to test how this sounds now. I can smell the diesel. It's coming through, it's warming up nicely. I can hear the exhaust working there. So let's have a little look at it. Right, let's try and get off there. Right, it's showing 23 degrees. We've asked for 25. It's now warming up. We've got 2 green bars on the bottom there. Pump's working. So let's just let it run. I haven't secured this because I'm taking this locker out, doing a bit of alteration work on it. So I don't know where to secure it quite yet. Hey, that is a lot quieter than yesterday, isn't it? I think we've done a cracking job there. Warming up lovely there. Well, that's how we install our night heater. It works a treat. The sound deadening worked fantastically. It's running now and you probably can't hear it. It's been a welcomed addition to this van installation and conversion. I've really enjoyed it. Especially on these cold days. When you've got to work outside, you're a little bit reluctant when it's this cold, but when you know you're coming into a nice warm environment like this, there's no holding me back. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.